A pleasant evening to you all. Thank you for tuning in. It's Tuesday, and this is Primetime News. I'm Joy Goses. Tonight's top story. The Ministry of Labour, Industrial Relations and Employment Creation has taken action following reports of a disturbing incident in Rundu. According to sources, employees were allegedly beaten by their employer for loans. Minister Utonu Nyoma has directed the ministry's Labour Inspectorate to investigate the matter and take appropriate action. Prime Rose Harasis reports.
Nyoma said this on Monday during the ministry's general staff meeting, following reports in a local newspaper on Monday that employees of a service station in Rundu are allegedly whipped by their employer when they want to borrow money from him. Nyoma said the ministry condemns such actions by employers in the strongest terms. He called on the Labour Inspectorate structures to immediately dispatch an inspection team to get to the bottom of these allegations and to take appropriate action. He added that one of the principal objectives of Namibia's struggle for independence, which was led by workers, was to end the abuse and exploitation of Namibian workers. Nyoma therefore said the Namibian constitution contains strong provisions that recognize the dignity of workers and the aim to ensure social justice. Reporting for Primetime News, Patricia Kutsia.
The Ministry of Works and Transport launched the Transport Registers and Information Platform System and the Corridor Trip Monitoring System in the capital earlier today. This marks the beginning of Namibia's role as host of the two systems on behalf of the tripartite regional economic communities, including the Common Market for Eastern and Southern Africa, East African Community, and Southern African Development Community. The systems are intended to facilitate inter-regional trade and cross-border transport and transit. More details on the story.
It is a privilege to be provided with this opportunity to launch this historic milestone of a tripartite registered and information platform system and the co-hosting of the Corridor Trip Monitoring System in Namibia. Namibia, as a member state, grabbed the opportunity to make a meaningful contribution in facilitating the development of a more competitive, integrated, liberalized regional road transport market in East and Southern Africa. This was a competitive process, so it was not just given to Namibia, to RA. The objective of the two systems resonate with the objective and strategy of the ministry in pursuing and facilitating trade and transport and promoting regional integration through the implementation of the regional and continental free trade arrangements.
The project Never Work Alone aims to provide school shoes to underprivileged learners in Namibia. In March, Project Never Work Alone will donate 1,250 pairs of shoes to learners from various schools in the Gunene region, while in May, an additional 2,000 pairs of shoes will be donated to the learners in the Oshana region. Shalva Wells filed the story.
This was accomplished through the Great 50 Pledge initiative, which honored 50 of Namibia's most philanthropic individuals by recognizing their contributions to society and aspiring a culture of appreciation and individual social responsibility. The initiative raised over $3 million Namibian dollars, with 340 guests attending the Black Tie recognized dinner in Windhoek on Saturday. The initiative raised over $3 million Namibian dollars, with 340 guests attending a black tie recognition dinner in Windhoek on Saturday. Project Never Walk Alone founder Temi Kanju said the three presidents of Namibia, founding President Sam Nujoma, former President Hifikepunye Pohamba, and current President Hage Geingob, are among the Great 50 recipients, among with other deserving people who uphold the human spirit. He noted they want to advance the idea of individual social responsibility, which instills the moral conviction that it is our responsibility as individuals to act always in the interest and greater good of society. 30 of the 50 participants voluntarily pledged a sum of 100,000 Namibian dollars each. Pledges from attendees added another 138,000 Namibian dollars to the night's total fundraising of 3,138,000 Namibian dollars. Reporting for Primetime News, Patricia Kutsia.
A look at elections happening in Nigeria. Nigeria's ruling party candidate Bola Tinubu took an early lead in the race for the presidency according to initial tallies on Monday, after a tight election marked by long delays and an opposition walkout over fraud accusations. Josephine Simeon has more on the story.
Former Lagos Governor Tinubu faced main opposition party PDP's Atiku Abubakar in Saturday's vote, but Labour Party's Peter Obi tested the two others as a third contender for the first time in Nigeria's modern democracy. Highlighting his challenge to APC and PDP dominance, Obi won the key state of Lagos, a bastion of Tinubu's support which also has the largest number of registered voters. With President Muhammadu Buhari stepping down, many Nigerians voted with the hope that a new leader will do a better job tackling insecurity, economic malaise and widening poverty in Africa's most populous country. Counting was still ongoing late Monday, with 14 out of 36 states tallied, but the Independent National Electoral Commission said Tinubu had won 6 states, Abubakar 5 states and Obi 3 states. Tinubu of the APC party was ahead with more than 3.8 million votes, while Abubakar had 3 million and Obi 1.6 million according to the INEC figures.
When we return, Schlettwein defends trading of animals from both northern and southern regions. Welcome to Primetime Buzz, the segment where we bring you the latest updates and insights on business and economics. The Minister of Agriculture, Water and Land Reform, Kalle Schlettwein, has defended the trade of animals from the northern and southern areas, stating that there is nothing wrong with it. The minister made the statement in response to questions posed to him in Parliament regarding a letter written by farmers south of the veterinary cordon fence, which alleged that meat produced by farmers north of the fence should not be accepted or sold in other African countries. Let's have a listen to the minister.
And I must be very frank with you. I have not received any communication from any farmer south of the Golden Fence of that nature. In fact, if it is indeed true, then it is wrong. It's false. Because our market access into the world is regulated by either preferential trade agreements that we have or by the normal most favored nation regime. So we have access into the whole world. We have access to Europe through the EPA agreement. We have access to the EFTA European countries through a preferential trade agreement. We have access to the United States because of a specific commodity agreement that we have with them. We have access to China. We have access to SADC countries through the SADC trade protocol. And we have access to Africa through, at the moment, the most favored nation arrangement, but in future through the African wide free trade arrangement. Now there is, of course, the animal health restrictions that are there and dictated by the World Animal Health Organization, and those restrictions are as follows in broad senses. If you are in a disease-free area, how you treat animals that have been vaccinated, that are in a buffer zone, where there's no foot and mouth outbreak prevalent at the moment. And you can trade with them through these trade arrangements that we have, if you follow that regime. The regime includes, you have to have a record of vaccination, you have to have traceability of the animals that are slaughtered, you have to quarantine them, you have to slaughter them in a specific way and chill them and cool them and store the meat for a certain period of time, and then it is free to trade. So if there is anyone who says we cannot trade either with animals from the northern area nor from the southern, it is wrong. We can.
The UN Economic Commission for Africa, UNECA, is calling on African countries to prioritize green mineral value chains for sustainable industrialization. During a panel discussion on building regional battery mineral value chain in Africa held recently, Acting Executive Secretary of UNECA, Antonio Pedro, emphasized the importance of this initiative.
Pedro emphasized that in order to meet the goals of the Paris Climate Agreement, the Sustainable Development Goals, and Africa's Agenda 2063, the world must decarbonize its growth models and shift to renewable energy sources. He said the shift to renewable energy sources is a resource incentive path that requires greater production of a variety of minerals that are central to decarbonization. According to figures from the UN Economic Commission for Africa, the African continent is home to many minerals, in which the Democratic Republic of Congo, for instance, produces more than 70% of the world's cobalt. DRC and Zambia together supply 10% of global copper, while Mozambique and South Africa hold significant reserves of graphite, platinum metals, lithium, and more. A UN Economic Commission for Africa statement issued from Addis Ababa, the capital of Ethiopia, quoted Pedro as saying they have clear opportunities not only from the global green mineral boom, but also from their domestic achievements, such as the African Continental Free Trade Area, to facilitate the development of regional value chains for these green economy products.
That's where we leave it with the top news for this evening. Stay tuned for the Economics Roundup, followed by the weather forecast. Welcome to Sport Planet. The Namibia Paralympic Committee is gearing up to participate in the upcoming Toyota Southern Africa Sports Association for Physically Disabled Championships, with plans to compete in 5 sports codes. According to NPC Secretary General Michael Hamukwaya, the committee is working hard to ensure that the Namibian Paralympic team is fully prepared for the event.
The annual Toyota South African Sports Association for Physically Disabled National Championships brings together athletes from 9 South African provinces and other Southern African countries to compete against their peers. This year's championships are scheduled for Cape Town, South Africa from the 17th to the 23rd of March 2023, where Team Namibia plans to compete in para-athletics, para-powerlifting, boccia, paracycling and goalball. Hamukwaya, in an interview with the Namibia Press Agency today, said they have decided to take 5 sports codes as part of their goal is to have as many codes representing the country at the 2028 Los Angeles Paralympic Games. The Secretary General further said with the different codes, they will have a big delegation of athletes, which is costly. At last year's event held in Johannesburg, South Africa, Namibian athletes with disabilities won 30 medals after 3 days of the competition. They bagged 20 gold, 3 silver and 7 bronze medals. Salima Shimwefeleni Masipa reporting for Nampa News.
On to football. Lionel Messi, Lionel Scaloni and Emiliano Martinez swept the Best FIFA Award ceremony in Paris on Monday, securing all 3 titles for Argentina. Lydia Bitiri reports.
Paris Saint-Germain's forward Messi was crowned the Best FIFA Men's Player, Scaloni took the Best FIFA Men's Coach, and Martinez the Best FIFA Men's Goalkeeper. The award period spans between the start of the 2021-2022 season through to the end of the 2022 World Cup, which saw Argentina end their 36-year wait to win the competition. Martinez, who plies his club trade for Aston Villa, finished ahead of Thibaut Courtois and Yassine Bono of Real Madrid and Sevilla respectively in the voting. Scaloni was next to pick up an award after seeing off competition from Manchester City, manager Pep Guardiola, and Real Madrid head coach Carlo Ancelotti, who won a La Liga and Championship League double last season. Messi made it 3 for Argentina by claiming the top prize at the ceremony in the French capital, which started with a poignant tribute to Brazil great Pelé.
Stand by for your sports roundup. This concludes Primetime News for tonight. Thank you for watching. Join us again tomorrow for another insightful and informative edition. From myself, Joy Gosses, and the entire production crew, have a lovely evening.